Hey everyone, this is Tim with A4 Outdoors, and today I am going to be installing a flip windshield for the X3. This is the SuperATV flip windshield. I'm going to put this together. This is your bottom piece, and these are the gasket material and stuff that comes with it. And this would be your center section. This is basically what you're going to see out of once it's flipped open or closed. And this is your top section that's going to mount to the top of the roll cage. The first thing that you do is put this gasket material on the bottom of the bottom piece. You start basically at the edge, and you really got to push this. This is the outside, so the big part goes to the outside, and you really got to push this on there. It says you can put it in kind of warm water to get it to loosen up some, but I didn't. It went on okay. You just really got to give it some oomph to push it really tight all the way around till you get all the way over to this side, and then you cut it. They always give you extra. There were probably 6-8 inches, so you cut this. There's a piece of metal in there. It's really small, thin metal that kind of clamps it onto the windshield. Take your razor knife or maybe just a little pair of snips or something and cut that off, and then you can push that right on there. The next step is going to be the place for your handles. This is where your handles for when you open and close it. It'll mount to the bottom, and it clicks in these grooves here, so you can have it at 3 different settings. You can have it fully closed, vented, which is open probably this far, and then you can have it all the way open. And I will do that next. Go ahead and take off your plastic, because I peeled it back to put the gasket on, but now you're actually going to need to take it off because you're going to have to bolt this catch on. So you take your little catch and then the bolts that they provided, and then there's a plate on the back of it. So you put the catch on this side, the plate on the back side, put the 2 screws through there, and then you've got your 2 lock nuts that go on there. They say do not tighten anything until it's noted, because you're going to have to adjust all this stuff so it'll close and lock correctly. But after you get the catch on it, and then I will take this gasket material that's sent, and we're going to put a piece on this lip here all the way down. That's where the next section is going to seal with that section. So we can go ahead and put that on there, and then we'll bolt this to the machine. Okay, so we have the bottom piece on. It slides, just basically you kind of lay it on there. You take the bolts out here, and this opens up, hinges out, and this slides down right in behind kind of this hood cowl piece. And then you put your Allen heads, you fold this back around. That's why everything's loose still, just so you can move it around and get everything tight. And there's 2 bolts here, Allen head bolts. They're hard to get to, so you may have to use just a small 1/4 inch Allen head or something like that, or just a regular one to kind of get those started there. So get that one started and get that started, and then I've pushed it down to basically it's flush here with kind of the black piece here and on the other side. So it should be pretty close there. And then I just snugged them a little bit, and also I put another piece. I forgot to do this just a second ago. Instead of just doing the 1 straight there, you do 2. You do a piece on the face there and the bottom, basically, so when the windshield closes, it kind of seals top and bottom. So you put that other piece of gasket. They give you plenty of gasket material to use, and I like to save it for rattles and stuff like that later. But put those on there, and then just kind of snug those up to where you can still, if you have to, move it up or down, and then everything else basically stays loose. Once that's done, you take the top piece, you find your top windshield. It's almost put together. All the hinges are already on it. That's already on it. The brackets are on it. The only thing you have to do, it comes with some clamps that you just put over top of your top rail, flat side facing out, and the curved side facing, on the inside. This was a little bit of a pain. This is where you're really going to need 2 people. I did it myself. I fought just a little bit with it. I actually put the bolts in here, a bolt, just to hold it up. But it says, you're supposed to do these first, so you get those through there. Put your nut on it both sides. That's why you need, 2 people, and you're really going to have to squeeze down on this to get it to sandwich enough to put your bolt all the way through it. And it comes with a little washer with rubber that goes on the outside that so it doesn't, rub your windshield raw or scratch it or whatnot. So once you get those on there, then you come back and take your longer bolts that are provided, and it goes all the way through here. And if you have sport mirrors, I'm not exactly sure how that goes, so you'll probably they'll probably send you longer bolts in the sport mirrors to put through the mirrors and through your, it'll go all the way through your windshield. These are plenty long enough. I just barely have the nuts on them. So that you just put it through the brackets on this side and that side. Everything's still loose. You may actually have to loosen a little bit of this up. I did, just so it'll move. And you kind of even it up where it's about the same on both sides. This windshield fits pretty good. I was happy with the SuperATV flip windshield on my original Maverick. Once you get that bolted on there, everything's still kind of loose. Just snug everything up. And then next, you take your middle section of your windshield, which is here, and then you take your handle with your backing plate and put it on where the curved side is this way. It goes up and over and down. The handle goes on the inside here, and just put your bolt through the outside with the backing plate straight through and put your nut on it and leave that kind of loose also. You can snug this up to where it'll still, move a little bit just for final adjustments, but just get your handle on it. And then we'll go next and take this and put it on the machine to bolt it to the top section with the hinges. Okay, now so I got the center section on. I put the screws, that's another time you need two people, one to hold the other side, and start a screw here with the nut on the back of it, and then you've got two there, two in the middle, and two on the other side. So you put those together, finger tight, and then what you do is you latch this. You lower the window, and then you latch this, kind of adjust it to where it'll latch good. Then once you got it latched good, you go through and just tighten pretty much everything. You tighten all of those. You can go ahead and tighten these. Just make sure it's kind of pushed up, up that way as far as you can get it. Just kind of tighten this stuff, pretty much tighten everything. Everything that you have pretty much done until now. And you go back and tighten the bottom. And then what you do is you take this next collar you have here, you take the collar and you kind of put it around here, and then you screw the end of the shock into it. So I screwed the end of the shock, or the gas shock, into this end before I stuck it on there, and I just had it sitting up a little bit. Hooked it on there, and it's 2 Allen screws just like the other ones there. So just kind of snug those up to where it'll still move up and down a little bit. And then the other side, you take your other end of the shock and stick it through there, and then you've got a nut that you put on the back side. Just hand tighten that, and then you go and do the exact same thing on the other side. I will tell you, it's going to be pretty close to this. Probably a finger width from that edge there. You could probably go up or down a little bit. It's not going to really hurt anything. So once you get that in there, put the screw on it, tighten that down, and then tighten down your handle and everything also. But that's the SuperATV flip windshield, and I'll put a link in the description below, and of course I got handprints all over it and fingers, but I think it retails with the scratch resistant coating on the front for $450, but I'll put a link in the description. Again, guys, if you like this video, hit like at the bottom, and again, subscribe to our channel for more videos and more installations to come.